Collinsville, Illinois, where this used to be a paper printing place.
Yes, it did. There's a lot of history behind the Old Herald, and the reason why the brewmasters and the owners chose the Old Herald as the name.
So what are we doing here?
Man, we got invited to come check out their lineup of beers. They have some awesome craft beers, from the light to the dark and all in between. And you know the two Yachties in beer are going to give them that honest to God truth about what they got. Yes, sir.
Let's check out the brewery real quick.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a walk through.
So I'm here with Corey, the brewmaster, and there's one thing that you notice when you first walk in here. You see this ginormous setup behind us. And the thing is, this is not what makes beer behind us. This is actually liquor. Explain to us a little bit about what's going on behind us.
All right, so up here we actually have the pot still in the columns. Downstairs in the brewery we don't have any of that because we don't need to, separate the alcohol. So up here is basically just all the spirits go into this big pot. It gets to the boiling point of alcohol and then goes through the column. Comes out clean spirits.
Wow.
And that's what gets you messed up.
Yeah.
Clean spirits.
So now that you guys kind of know what's behind us, we're going to go where the real business happens, which is downstairs.
Here at the brewery. This is the most exciting part about the two Yachties and beer. Each and every time that we're going to go to a brewery, this is the place that we want to be at to get all the goodies on how they make that delicious brew that we're drinking. So, Corey, tell us about a little bit about where we're at right now and what's going on right now. Because these things
it's
are
hot,
smoking hot, man. The beer starts hot and then it's ice cold when you drink it. Who would have thought? Tell us a little bit about it.
All right, so actually we're up on the brew deck right now. We've got 3 different vessels up here right now. This one that's real toasty, they're out liquor tank because I have to have water that's certain temperatures at certain points. It all actually starts in this tank right here. This is a mash tun. This is where all the grains kind of come together, comes in with hot water, basically steeps for a solid amount of time. Basically what I'm making is, boil it down, I'm basically making tea.
So you're putting your main ingredients, your spices and takes on certain ales and lagers and stuff like that. You're all putting it in this and making kind of like you said, a tea.
Right. So it's all the grains going here.
Man, who would have thought beer would have started tea and then it gets you messed up? Who would have thought?
That's all I'm doing is making tasty sugar water.
That's interesting. So for every type of flavor you guys offer, does it all the ingredients that make them different go in here?
For the most part. So I have ingredients that come in here, and I take that liquid that's in here, and I move it over to the boil kettle, and this is where we have another spot where we can get different flavors. This is where all our hops come in.
Okay.
So if we have like dark roasty beers, all those flavors are coming from the mash tun. But if we have like IPAs and things like that, you're mainly getting your flavor right over here with all of those hops that go in there.
That's step 2?
Yes. This is step
all right.
2. And then it all goes from here
breaking stuff
into the fermenter.
which is over there with the beard hanging on it.
So it's kind of interesting because brew days, it's about an 8-hour day. Spend that to just make the liquid basically, and then depending on the beer, it will stay over in that fermenter for 2-3 weeks.
Wow.
And explain for the people that don't know what fermenting is. What is that process in the beer making process?
So in the beer making process, that's where the yeast will kind of be there, and then that's why we start out with sugar water. I'm basically just making a tasty solution for yeast, and it consumes the sugar and turns that into alcohol.
So that gives it kind of like the full body flavor that you get when making beer. Is that what the fermenting does? It kind of gives that body to your tea?
Not necessarily. So I'm getting all those from the grains. All the flavor, the body,
we're
it's
learning stuff every day.
all the grains. But alcohol, that's purely from sugar.
Got it. Got it.
Sugar water gets you messed up, man.
Yeah, who would have thought sugar is getting us twisted? Wow.
So onto the boiling hot tank. What is this process right here?
Right. So I just keep this tank at 185 degrees, and I just blend it down to the temperature that I need at the different points. Because I have to have water at varying degrees of heat. So I just pull from here, so I have ready hot water to do what I need to on each step.
Okay. This is your water heater.
Yes.
This is your hot water.
It's a giant, oversized water heater.
So
Okay.
after you get the fermenting done, what's the final process?
So what we'll do is I'll go from that fermenter and I go into a tank called a bright tank. That's where it just kind of sits there, and then I force CO2 into it, and that's how it gets carbonated and gets all the bubbles. And I either put it into cans or kegs.
It's all about that bubble.
Okay.
I told you there was an important process when it comes to that pour, and me and Mark are doing our pour review of the bubbles and the foam, you know, the head that comes on that drink. That's the process that he's talking about right there, folks.
Yeah. So we're going to go check out one of the tanks down here that has an epic beard hanging on it. And we're going to find out what that one's about. So we'll be right back.
Boy, they done shaved my face, took off the hair, and stuck it on the damn tank.
There it is, right there. What is in there?
So the one that's in here right now is actually our Printer's Ink. So it's actually, I would say, our flagship beer.
I love the Printer's Ink. Mr. Lee, big shout out to Mr. Lee for bringing the Printer's Ink over to the building. That was actually the first time that I actually tried it. And like you said, that's a flagship quality beer. So big kudos on putting out, because I'm a black lager, dark lager type of drinker. And that, I'll hit it on the head with the taste as well as the name, because it plays into the Old Herald and the whole reason why they call themselves the Old Herald. So y'all need to come down to the Old Herald and try some of that Printer's Ink.
So this one right here is going to be in there for how long?
This one's going to be in here for about 2 weeks.
Wow. And now these are just smaller tanks holding different blends, or?
Right. So all three of these right here, these are fermenters.
Okay.
I can put whatever beer in there, it just gets cleaned out after. And the other tanks over here, these are called bright tanks, and that's where I force carbonate, make that beer nice, bright, and pretty, and can put it into kegs and cans if necessary.
So, in your opinion, does the carbonation improve the taste, or what does it really do?
So carbonation, it definitely improves different flavors. So for instance, IPAs, those all that hop aroma comes out with that CO2 when it comes out. That's what so much of taste is actually smell. Yeah. It's like if you have Skittles,
Taste and smell. He's highlighting those reviews again.
Yeah.
right. If you hold your nose and you eat Skittles, they all taste the same.
That's true. That's true. I haven't tried that. I need to
hold my
try that.
nose and drink 7 different beers and see if they all taste the same. Yeah. So on to the next, I guess. I'm ready to go taste what this is.
I think it's beer 30, isn't it?
I think it's beer 30. It's
time to
about
get a drink
that time.
going.
It's about that time.
On our way out, we realized something. I seen these barrels over
like,
here.
what the heck is that?
And they got nipples on them. What's this?
Man, they got nipples.
So all these actually are filled with beer. So the thing on top is called 3-way airlock. And what that does is it lets the CO2 that generate when it ferments to come out, nothing to come back in. Because when we put beer in there, it's finished beer, but there's still sugars that are in the wood. So there's yeast in there. It's going to consume those sugars. It's going to create more alcohol and CO2. So if I don't have that airlock on there, it's
gonna burst open.
Blow up.
That's why they're rounded like this. Like they're
So
they're looking like they're about to explode.
Essentially, what he's saying is we have beer bombs down here in the basement.
Yeah, that's so crazy. All right, now we're gonna go drink.